To say you gotta know somebody, or know somebody to give somewhere these days. To say you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, cause you know that's alright with me. Yeah, you know that's alright, yeah that's alright, cause you know that's alright.
And because of the extensive list that I've developed and the credibility that I've developed, I feel that if I lock the thing up, even if the contract only gives me a few days to raise the private money, I can get at the very least, a verbal commitment from somebody to raise the money in a very short period of time, okay? But you better do your homework on that real estate deal, because if your private lender is, you know, a prudent person, which usually they're intelligent individuals who understand real estate investing, they're going to question your deal. What is the cash flow? What vacancy allowance did you consider? What are the repairs? What are the comps? All of these things. So you better not just find a deal and then start picking up the phone calling people. Do your homework. Make sure that you're prepared. So if the opportunity arises, like, let's face it, it's sales. You've knocked on this customer's door hundreds of times. He finally lets you in. Here's your big moment. You've got 15 minutes to shine. And if you haven't done your homework and you screw up your 15 minutes, well, you're never going to get back in that door. So I typically do all my homework, have all the questions in my head answered as to why I think this is a great real estate deal. And I'm always prepared to present whatever information is necessary so that I can show them this is a deal that I believe 100% in my heart that this is going to be an amazing real estate deal, that I'm excited about this deal. Okay, if typically anyone who knows me, if I'm not passionate about the deal, then you know, you won't hear me talking about it, because I'll be too busy looking for the one I am passionate about, right? So the deal is key. It's a huge part of, you know, being able to raise the private money. You've got to structure strong deals. So this business is not singularly one strategy. It's a matter of you have to be cultivating private lenders at the same time you're out there looking for real estate deals. And then you'll find that great deal and you have that collection, and all of a sudden you're ready to pounce on this deal, and those two things come together in synergy and allow you to very quickly buy some piece of real estate with none of your own money, okay? Without the support of banks. You don't have to sell the property now, because you're going to possibly do a wholesale yourself that Jeremy was talking about earlier. So you can actually get paid to buy that house. And that's a key thing that we do all the time, is we find houses with none of our own money, without the support of banks. We get to keep the properties, which means that we don't need to wholesale them or flip them to make money. We do need to make money, but we don't want to be eating our portfolio in order to survive. We want to have the private investors pay us a little extra, okay, in order for us to take some of that equity out of the deal right now, so that we can continue to live our lifestyles without selling our portfolios. Okay, so that's a whole nother thing, but you know, the deal is key. So one of the things that you can ask yourself when you're looking at real estate deals is, does it have the juice that it's going to need to excite your private investor? You may love it, but you might love it for the wrong reasons. You might love it because you already own a house on that block and you'd love to own another one. And that may fuel your ego, but that doesn't necessarily make it a great real estate deal. You've really got to take your mindset out of the way you think and just sit in your, what I do, I sit in my office quietly sometimes and I think to myself, what would a private investor think about this deal? Forget about the fact that I love it. Why do I love it? And what would a private investor say about this deal? Does the deal have sex appeal? You know? Like, for example, I want to tell you about Florida. This is a picture of a house that I have under contract and have already secured a private investor to fund this deal for me, and it's in Florida. Now, when Jeremy and I first started investing in Florida, We went down there for several reasons. We went down there because we thought it's about time that we had a little fun. We both worked pretty hard, and we wanted to improve the quality of our lives, and we wanted to buy in an area that we felt was depressed from a real estate standpoint. So we did a search of the top 10 worst hit markets in the United States. We chose Florida as the state we wanted to invest in. The three areas in Florida that were, had the worst devastation as far as real estate values go was Sarasota, Cape Coral, and Miami. Miami, just maybe 20 years ago I would have gone to Miami, but I didn't want to be there now, okay? And Cape Coral just didn't do much for us. It was a little too quiet and laid back, but Sarasota had everything that we wanted, including the #1 rated beach in the United States. Now, if you're a beach person, I'm a beach person. The #1 rated beach in the United States, Siesta Key Beach. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous. When you're sitting on that beach, it feels like you're on a screensaver, okay? But there was something else about it that I loved. You know what it was? Sex appeal.
The girls.
It had sex appeal.
That's sex appeal.
It did. I started looking at these real estate deals that were close to the #1 rated beach in the United States, and I said, you know what? If I called a private lender and asked them to invest in that, that might be something he wouldn't mind being a part of. It's attractive. It's interesting. It's sexy. It's a hell of a lot more exciting than a row home or town home in Warminster, okay? Which I have done a number of those deals and found private investors for. One of our concerns was, hey, all the private lenders that we pretty much know, they all live around here. So we weren't too sure if we were going to have an easy time or a hard time raising private money for Florida deals. It's actually been incredibly easy because other people are attracted to it for the same reasons that we were. It's a depressed market. It made economic sense. It had sex appeal. It improved the quality of our lives. And guess what? They get to use the place. You're going to lend me the money for it. We throw in some couple weeks in the off season. You can use it. And I don't want to spend too much time talking about the strategy of Florida because I wanted to focus on private lending today. But I'll just share with you one thing. So if it's a depressed market and the economy down there is depressed as well, how do you take properties down there and rent them to individuals who are dealing with a 25% unemployment rate? Of course, that's not what the government says. The government probably calls it about 11.2. It's really probably about 25% down there. Well, it makes annual rentals pretty scary.
Yeah.
Okay? So we came up with a niche. We started buying things close to the beach, close to a vacation area, so that it could be utilized as a vacation rental. Now, who rents vacation rentals? Not people from Florida. People from all over the country, all over the world. All right? Siesta Key happens to be a tourist destination for international travelers. Okay? We already rented our place. Somebody's in it right now from Canada. And I haven't been contacted from anybody overseas, but I suspect I will. So all of a sudden now, I'm benefiting from a depressed real estate market, okay? But I'm avoiding the pitfalls of that real estate market because of the high unemployment. I'm avoiding it by renting it to people who aren't from Florida. Beautiful combination, great niche. Anybody who wants to go down there and check it out, the properties that we have available are on a website called GoSiesta.com. Now, right now, we only have one up there, but this one is coming soon. This particular property I bought for $370,000. We value this thing will be worth $650,000 when it's done. It needs an $85,000 rehab. All the money's in position. The deal's locked up. We're going to be selling on it in March. You walk out the front door of this house, 70 steps, and you're on the #1 rated beach in the United States. Okay, Siesta Key Beach. Okay? So you got the great deal, you got the contacts, you got the credibility, you put it all together, and now you're ready to approach somebody for private money.